Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Elena and here I talk about books. Today I'm going to show you all the books that I bought in June. I got 5 books this month from Book of the Month, 3 from Aardvark, and a few I bought separately. I like to get books in a wide variety of genres just to keep it interesting. It looks like this month my most popular genre was Romantasy. I do love some good romantasy. It's probably one of my favorite genres, and surprisingly I didn't get those ones from my book subscriptions this month. First off, I got The Never List by Jade Presley. This is a spicy why choose romantasy novel. This is one of the books that I'll be reading with my Spicy Mom book club. We're not meeting until next month, but I was really excited to get started on it, so I made sure to take a lot of notes to discuss with the girls when we finally meet up to chat about it. While this is a romantasy, the magic system is actually pretty simple and easy to follow here. I'll do a more detailed review of this in my June reading recap. This version I also got with the sprayed edges, so she's really pretty. Next up, I got For Whom the Bell Tolls. So this I actually found by accident. Somewhere deep in the web of Reddit or Instagram or something, I saw people talking about this book. I tried not to read too much into it because I love going into books blind, so I don't want to have any expectations. But this was a really popular TikTok series that then became an actual book. It has fantastic reviews on Goodreads, so I'm super excited to read this one. I pre-ordered it and I waited for 2 months to get it. It has so many reviews already on Goodreads, so I think it was already published before. Maybe the reason why mine ended up a pre-order is because it was republished with a traditional publisher. It's a little bit long, so I need to mentally be prepared for such a long read before I get started, but I'm pumped about this one. Next, I actually got a romantasy duet, or duology, however you like to say it. And normally I wouldn't buy both books in a series or multiple books in a series without having read the first one. However, I just really have a gut feeling that I'm gonna love this one. Book 1 is One Dark Window, and book 2 is Two Twisted Crowns. I heard that the magic system in this is really good. I didn't read anything else about it, but the series also has fantastic reviews. I recently posted about my favorite romantasy duets, and these 2 didn't make the list because I hadn't read them yet. Someone in the comment section of that video mentioned that I should read these, so I looked into it and decided to buy it. I can't read too many romantasy novels back to back because I need a little palate cleanser so I can fully enjoy each book on its own. I also need time to process between the different magic systems and the different worlds. I don't want to mix any of that stuff up. Next genre on the list is magical realism with 3 books this month. This kind of surprised me because I wouldn't say that magical realism is my go-to. It just so happened that I picked books that have magical realism in them this month. If you're not familiar with magical realism, it's essentially fiction with some magical or supernatural elements that are part of the story, and it's kind of like the normal in that world. Typically, it can have something to do with ghosts or time travel or split timelines. Apparently, I really love magical realism because it's fiction with a little extra something, a little spark of magic. All of my magical realism books this month came from Book of the Month. We have Aftertaste. This is about someone who can serve meals to ghosts. Shark Heart is about a newlywed couple, but the husband is slowly turning into a great white shark. I heard this one is a really emotional read. It was a 2023 Book of the Year finalist. I'm saving this one for when I'm ready for a good cry. Lastly, I got Other Side of Now. I already read this one, and check out my channel for the full spoiler-free review, but I really loved this book. It's about a girl who ends up in an alternate timeline of her own life, one major decision, splitting those 2 timelines and having colossal repercussions. It's such a beautiful book. I read it in 1 day. I'm typically an asleep by 10 kind of girl, but I stayed up way past my bedtime because I just couldn't put it down. Next, we have fantasy. Typically, I like my fantasy with a little bit of romance, and I think the lines between fantasy and romantasy sometimes get a little muddled. I got 2 fantasy books this month. One of my new fantasy books is from Book of the Month. It was my June pick, Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil. This follows the story of 3 lesbian vampires. It's a really interesting book and it's very well written. It's not my read of the year, but it was new and it was different, and I'm glad that I chose this as my monthly pick. This is the same author that wrote Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, which I haven't read, but I've heard really fantastic things about, so maybe I'll put that one on my TBR. My second fantasy book of the month is from Aardvark. The Devils by Abercrombie. This one takes me really far out of my comfort zone. If I had the option of buying this book a few months ago, I don't think I would have chosen it. I see Joe Abercrombie as a writer for men. That might not necessarily always be the case, but when I was doing research for books that my husband might like, and I obviously Googled books for men, Joe Abercrombie is all over those search results. I'm used to books written by women for women, so this one is something very different for me, and it's quite long, so it's quite the commitment. This book is about a group of murderous, magical anti-heroes that go on an adventure together. I say adventure, the book describes it as a raucous journey. I need to mentally prepare myself for this book because this is really not my typical read, but I'm gonna give it a chance. 9 down, 3 to go. The remaining 3 on the list are all different genres. First off, we have a sci-fi mystery novel. I heard this one is actually a little bit more mystery than it is sci-fi, but it includes time travel, which is sci-fi enough for me. I got this from Aardvark. It got some mixed reviews on Goodreads, but I think on Goodreads, you always need to take the reviews with a grain of salt. Often in the early stages of the book being released or pre-release, you can't get an accurate tell of what people think about the book. I think a lot of people just leave reviews without having read it, and then the people who actually have read it usually got it as an ARC. You just need a little bit more data. This is another book that when I read the description, it seems a little bit out of my comfort zone, and I was really second guessing my decision here. In the end, I'm glad that I got it with my Aardvark box this month because it's now sold out. Also, unlike some of the other books that I bought this month, it's not like 500 or 600 pages, so I think this will be a nice, quicker read or good as a palate cleanser. Also, look at how nicely it completes my shelf. I had a little bit of empty space here earlier in the month, and then when Memory Collectors came, I was finally able to fill it up right next to my little book nook. Next, we have a romance novel. I only got one this month, and I actually got it from Aardvark. I've never gotten an Aardvark romance novel before, so I'm really curious to see what an Aardvark romance pick is like. That's quite a mouthful. Aardvark that's the amount of times that I need to practice saying this. Aardvark romance. It's like a tongue twister. The book I got is called Left of Forever. There are a couple of reasons why I picked this book this month. First of all, I wanted to try out a different genre from Aardvark that I haven't gotten before from them. Second, the main characters here are in their 30s. It gets kind of tiring after a while, constantly reading romance novels where the characters are 18, 19 years old. I'm looking forward to reading about more mature characters that are hopefully a little bit more relatable and complex. Also super cool, the Aardvark editions of this book are all signed. I just love the Aardvark book quality. The dust jackets are so nice and the covers themselves are so nice. They're like velvety smooth. And a fun little thing is when you're reading while having some snacks and getting the cover a little bit greasy, you could just wipe it down. Last one is fiction. This is my current read, so I don't have an opinion on it quite yet, but the book is called The Names. I got it from Book of the Month. It was one of the May main picks. I didn't get it then because I ended up going with something else, but I've seen a lot of great reviews about this one, so I thought I'd give it a shot. So far, I'm about halfway through, so I'm going to reserve any judgment on this book. It's a very interesting concept. A new baby is born into a family, and the parents are choosing the name for the child. In each of the 3 separate timelines, the baby has a different name, and that changes the course of the story and the family. It's an interesting take on how our name is such a big part of our identity and personality and really who we are. And maybe if we had different names, we would be different people. Definitely a cool concept and a really beautiful cover. We're about halfway through June now. I don't anticipate buying any other books in the next couple of weeks. I have plenty to read for now, and I don't like having a very long physical TBR. I feel like the books are on their shelves just yelling at me. Read me, read me. 12 books is a lot for 1 month. I'm not sure if I'm going to get through all of these books this month. I'm gonna do my best. I post monthly unboxing videos for both my Book of the Month box and my Aardvark subscription, where I go into a little bit more detail about the synopsis of each story. For the most part, both Aardvark and Book of the Month have brand new releases, early releases, and recent releases. So I love seeing all the new books that are out. Have you read any of these books yet? I would love to hear your thoughts. Leave them in the comments below. And make sure you subscribe to check back in for a June reading review coming soon. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you soon to talk about more books.